take a gander at a couple hockey teams in the NHL that won last night. So you got the Penguins 6-3 over the Islanders, Lightning 4-3 over the Ducks. Those are two teams, by the way, Penguins and Lightning, clinching playoff spots. Bruins and Flames both blew their chance. Bruins are on a skid right now, Paul Bruno of RotoWire, so that's 3 losses in a row. And then the Flames getting crushed by the Golden Knights 6-1. So did you anything catch your eye last night around the NHL? It was a big slate, dude.
It was that last game that you mentioned, Las Vegas serving notice that even though they're on the fringe of playoff contention, if they get in, they're going to be a scary out. They beat up on Calgary in their own rink, and it wasn't close. The score flattered the home side. And Jacob Markstrom not playing very well for them of late. He got pulled twice this week, too. So a little bit of cause for concern in Cowtown.
All right, so now tonight, much different slate, just 2 games. So, Paul, I think we talked to you earlier this week, and there was just 1 game on the slate, but one like this, in which there's 2 games, like, what is your strategy here on a small slate?
Well, you got to lean on line stacks. You can actually go full line stacks here, a couple of instances, and that could account for your entire forward complement. That means you can afford to put up some big guys with high salaries, and they'll be offset by usually a cheap winger in the mix as well. So that's one way to go. And I also like to go big on defense with at least one of my picks there, too, on a short slate.
All right, so then from that to this, favorite DFS play at center. Who are you rocking with?
I like Alexander Barkov, $8,700 the price tag against a Winnipeg team that's missing Mark Scheifele. The Panthers center is rolling. He's got 17 points in his last 10 games played, and this team is outscoring everybody on a nightly basis, and he's usually in the middle of it. Winnipeg's defensive structure is a little bit lacking of late too, so it's a good fit. And I also like a shoot first center on a short slate, so I'll add Brock Nelson, who has 9 points in his last 10 games played. I know Carey Price is starting, but I'm going to be the contrarian and say the Islanders are going to win this one anyway. And Nelson's had a strong second half. He's got a nice matchup against Montreal, costing $5,900.
All right, take me to wing. You do the whole stacking thing?
No, I'll mix it up for you a little bit. I'm going to go Jonathan Huberdeau. Doesn't get mentioned enough when we talk about top scorers in the league, Emerson. He's tied for second in the whole loop and has 7 goals, 17 points in his last 10 games played. 38 shots on goal, which is a mythful for him. He's usually a pass-first guy, but he's firing right now, costing $7,700. In the same game, I like Nikolai Ehlers, one of the Jets' top guns, is on a tear since he came off the IR. He cost $6,700, despite the fact he's scored 46 shots on goal in his last 10 games played. He's got 13 points. And finally, the Islanders' Matthew Barzal has also improved his scoring of late, particularly in the second half. He's got 8 points in his last 10 starts, and nobody's noticing, which helps explain the $4,600 price tag there.
Who's your blue line bro tonight?
On the blue line, I like Josh Morrissey, the power play quarterback in Winnipeg. He's been very visible in the last 10 games, 6 points, 27 shots on goal, but also 21 blocks. So he's doing it at both ends of the ice, and it's no wonder his DK total is averaging over 11 per game in the last 10. And in the same game, I like Jeff Petrie, who's getting more ice time, and he's active at both ends all the time. He's got 33 blocks. It's crazy in the last 10 games played. That's nuts. And he's also a big-time scorer, so no wonder he's over 12 points a game in his last 10. Cost $4,500. And then I'm looking at Florida. It's all about stepping up to fill up Aaron Ekblad's minutes over here. And the guy who's doing it best is Gustav Forsling with 4 goals and 8 points, 35 shots on goal and 12 blocks. He's averaging almost 13 points a game on the DK slates. He comes in at only $3,900 tonight.
Get us out of here with your favorite bet on a very short slate. 2 games.
Give you one for each game. I expect the Panthers to roll here and take the -1.5 and the under for 6.5 total. That's a bit of a parlay for a +320 payoff. In the other game, I like the Islanders. Bit of a contrarian play, as I said, but they're 22 points ahead of the Canadians in the standings. Take them -1.5 on the puck line for a +160 payout.